Okay, so in this video I'm going to show you how to rule up your guidelines for calligraphy when you're using a broad edge pen. You'll need a ruler, a calligraphy ruler, pencil and your broad edge pen. Okay, so the most accurate way to rule up your guidelines is to use the pen that you're going to write your piece with. If you turn it on its side and just give a little stroke from left to right, that is a nib width. For foundational hand, you are doing 3 nib widths for your ascender, so you just join them corner to corner there. Your X height is 4 nib widths, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then your descender is 3 nib widths. And that's called your nib ladder when you put them all together like that. Then you can grab your ruler. I use a rolling ruler, but any ruler will be fine. The rolling rulers just help keep your lines in position and nice and straight. So rule along the top line there. 1, 2, 3. Rule another line. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rule another line. 1, 2, 3. And those are your 3 writing lines. So like I said, your ascender, your X height and your descender. If you wanted to use your ruler, this is manuscript calligraphy ruler, obviously designed for use with manuscript pens, so these are the manuscript nib sizes. But if you were using another brand, so I've got my Pilot Parallel pen here, or if you're using a dip pen, you can just place the nib and see which is the best fit. I'm going to go for the scroll 6 here. And for that, you just measure up as if you were measuring centimetres, inches. You just use this guide in the same way. So 1, 2, 3 for your ascender, 1, 2, 3, 4 for your X height, 1, 2, 3 for your descender. And again, grab your longer ruler, rule across those lines, those little marks you've made. The advantage with this being you don't have the nib ladder down the side there, so this is absolutely fine for practice, but if you're doing a final piece you might want to do your guidelines this way with the nib ruler. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to draw up your guidelines for Copperplate calligraphy. What I tend to use most actually are pre-printed guide sheets. I get these from Calligraphy, Callidraw, but if you do an internet search for calligraphy guide sheets, you'll find there's actually a few different sites where you can go on, put in the style of calligraphy that you're doing, and you can generate guide sheets and print them off. So it's usually quite handy to have a few master copies to hand. And then what you can do with the pre-printed ones is actually just slip them underneath your paper for practice, so layout paper or the Rhodia pad that I'm using at the moment, and you can generally see through. If you can't, you can also just use your ruler to go over them so that you've got something more visual that you can see on the sheet that you're working on. So you can do that for the ascender, your X height, descender, and for the diagonal strokes as well. So basically you can cheat a little bit and trace over. If you wanted to draw them up yourself, the ratios for Copperplate are 3:2:3. I wouldn't do anything smaller than a 4mm X height. Anything smaller than that doesn't really give your nib the chance to open and close. And you just measure up, it goes by millimeters. So you would have 6mm, and then 4mm for your X height, and then 6 again for your descender. Leave a space. 6mm for your ascender, 4 for your X height, 6 for your descender, leave space again. And where you've got these notches, just go over and draw a nice straight line. So I use a rolling ruler, which is really a nice way to keep your lines straight, as it grips the paper as it moves down. So there's your first set, second set, and then to get your diagonal lines, again, rolling rulers are quite handy. They've got this protractor in the middle. So you want 55 degrees from the horizontal for your diagonal lines. So that's going to help keep the slope. There we go, 55. And then again, just rule along. Pop some diagonal lines in there as well. If you want to make those bigger, so the 969, you do exactly the same, measuring in millimetres, so 9 millimetres for your ascender, 6 millimetres for your X height, 9 millimetres for your descender. Move across again. Use these lines again just to continue the diagonal. You can see there those guidelines are wider, so smaller lettering, slightly larger lettering, and you can have a go of both and see which one suits you better.